We are live from Footprint Center. Well, I am Matthew Paul Listy. John has a birthday today, so happy birthday to John. In his place, I have Gavin from Aussies Suns Fan Podcast. Gavin, how are you doing? And are you excited that the preseason is finally over?
Hell yeah, I'm excited. That means we're just about to head into the real season, and that's what we're all here for.
I know. But tonight, dude, it went to overtime, and I think the joke was, please don't go to overtime. And at the end of the fourth quarter, when things were a little bit close, the Suns actually pulled away, got close again. I'm like, just don't do it. And it went to overtime. So we had to sit through here for 5 more minutes. But it was a rambunctious crowd here at Footprint Center. As the Lakers are here, there's a lot of Lakers fans. But there's some takes I have from the preseason game, but also Gavin and I are going to really look forward to the season upcoming and what we're looking forward to. It won't be a long pod, but Gavin, do you have anything to crack open for the Suns and for John and his birthday?
Yeah, happy birthday, John.
All right, let's start the pod. Alrighty, so Suns did lose 120 to 122. I think I gotta ask you a question, buddy.
Matthew, I've got to ask.
I didn't mean to say buddy. I think that was kind of rude. I don't know where that came from.
No, buddy's fine. Buddy's fine.
Oh, is it okay to say buddy? Okay.
We use it all the time here.
Okay. My first question of the podcast is, what do you think of Bronny? Actually, I'm kind of joking, but I just want to get your quick take on LeBron James' son, Bronny James Jr., and his appearance tonight. He played most of the fourth quarter. I did get to see him up in person. He has a really big head, and he's about as tall as me. So he played a lot tonight. Kevin Durant tried to block his shot at the rim, or it was a foul. He was caught up in an instance that was a flagrant foul. So he had a lot of reviews around anything that he had his hands on, or that he was like basically, put into play. But what did you think about him? Is there any quick takes about him and maybe the future of the Lakers teams?
No, not really. He is
Okay.
he's not very good.
I know, right?
He's kind of what I expect in the last quarter of a preseason to be getting a run. I can't see him playing many minutes in the season.
Yeah, no, I don't see it either. I think that one flagrant foul too, it was like just an undercut. It wasn't really getting his hands up and attacking the ball. It was just throwing his body in some kind of like he's jumping into a mosh pit. So it's very strange. Doesn't look like he belongs on the court. But it was good to have him here because we get to like hear the Lakers fans cheer him on. But what's up?
Yeah, it's kind of what he's going to be good for this year is that traveling circus and the media attention and everything about Bron playing with his son, and that's pretty much what he's going to be able to provide, I think.
Yeah, no, I think so too. But like just to kind of get away from the Lakers now, I don't really want to talk too much about them because I think that Anthony Davis looked pretty good. Their offense looked like they moved the ball around pretty well, but it is preseason, so I don't have too many takes unless you have anything about the Lakers you want to talk about before we move into the Suns.
No, look, they do have one rookie that I'm sure they're going to look forward to, and I think Dalton Knecht is he's got a lot of upside. And what did he end up with? 34 or 36 or something like that. Like
35 points.
Yeah. He had a big game, and he's got some upside, that young fella.
Yeah, no, he definitely does, and he proved it tonight. Just tying the game, having the big balls on him, and walking on the court, doing whatever he wanted against the Suns team late in the game. I mean, it seemed like the Suns defense was a bunch of Bronnies on the court, so they had a hard time keeping up, and he definitely shut the Suns down in overtime and leading into the end of the fourth. I think that
can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor?
What's up?
That needs to be your go-to for the remainder of this season. There was a bunch of Bronnies on the court.
Yeah, Yeah, our defense looked like a bunch of brownies. Yeah, we could say that. He's definitely browning out there. Yeah, we can say that. Uh, I got that. All right. I will definitely use that going forward, but just remind me in the chat if you're watching and I haven't used it in a couple pods, just to kind of,
I will do.
just
I
a
will do.
refresh here. I would appreciate that.
I
But my
will
real
do.
question really to start the pod was, it wasn't really about Bronny or anything. It was, a takeaway from this game and maybe the preseason from you that I would just like anything that you're seeing in this preseason that you think is really going to stick. Like for me, I feel like the turnovers, the way the Suns are playing the ball well with Monty and Tyus Jones, like something like that, I feel like will kind of stick around going into the season. I think this team is going to be very good at moving the ball around, getting like those 3-point shots and limiting the turnovers. So I do believe in that. But is there anything else really you can take away from this game and maybe the great stuff preseason going to like seasons? Just thinking like, hey, I really like what I saw there, but I'm actually really confident it's going to stay there during the regular season.
Yeah, I think the main takeaway that was definitely one. Like the actual ball protection, the way we moved the ball on offense. I think we attacked the fast breaks a lot more over the preseason. I hope that flows on. Obviously, an uptake in 3-point attempts. The couple of things that stood out to me, and I know our friend Evan from He's on Fire podcast mentioned it on his Twitter today. One thing we've that I noticed over the preseason that we've protected the backdoor cut a lot better on the defensive end, and we got exposed by that last year a lot. The amount of times the guys walked to the basket without any pressure, we've done that better over this preseason, and also one of the things that stood out to me was what I saw a lot last year was when we did get beaten defensively. We didn't even try to close out on 3-point shooters on the outside. Every single shot, whether we were miles away from the shot or not, players hustled to at least try to close out on those 3-pointers. They're just two signs to me that this team's actually engaged, particularly on the defensive end.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think even tonight, there were some times where the Suns looked like it was physical kind of on the defensive end, but overall through the preseason, I think that they've done a better job in the paint. There's a few like offensive rebounds in the first half or the first quarter, with Nurkic in the game. And I did want to talk about Nurk, but we'll talk about him in a little bit. But I do want to talk about this guy right here.
And she said, "You're not the only one, but you're the best, Bradley." Boom, boom.
So yeah, a few players I just want to point out. Bradley Beal, my biggest thing is preseason. I noticed him playing a lot with the second unit, especially to end the first quarter. He was looking pretty good with Monty Morris again. He had Plumlee on the floor next to him, and also had Ryan Dunn and Nerlens Noel. So I'm really intrigued by that lineup. John and I do talk a lot about him filling a good role on the bench or coming off the bench, and it seems like Bud is kind of like lingering around there, just really, lights are out. There we go. Everybody else listening, lights are out and Gavin. So I'm trying to make sure he's okay. Is everything all right? There's not a serial killer behind you?
Everything's fine, mate. The automatic
Okay.
light. I'll hide here so the kids don't make noise.
All right, perfect, man. I'm glad you're safe. But yeah, Bud just kind of like leave him out there, just sticking him out there with the second unit. I think it looks pretty good. It kind of leads to Brad being more of Brad like he was with Washington. A lot of ball movement, a lot of Sam having the ball in his hands, and if not, Monty can take care of that. But do you like seeing Bradley Beal with the second unit? And like, do you like what you see, or is he just better with the first season so far? You think?
Look, I still think Beal is adjusting to his role and what he needs to do within the team, and particularly with the first unit. I think I think he still can start and play with that team. But as you said, as the game advances, as each of the games advance, he's going to end up playing more and more minutes with that second unit, because I feel like we're going to see Grayson Allen probably slip in to that third role, that third player with the starting lineup. And if Beal can accept that role, still starting the game, probably still finishing the game, but during the actual gameplay, more with the second unit that he is the first unit. I think we're going to see a completely different Bradley Beal, but he needs to be able to accept that and adjust to that role, and I'm not sure he quite has yet because he was frustrated tonight.
He was, and he's very dramatic on the court. He's very emotional. You can definitely see it. Even when he misses a free throw, he's very over dramatic with it. He kind of buys into how he's playing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how he was in Washington, but it seems like in Phoenix when he is struggling, he might just struggle all game. He can never really get a groove. But when he comes out and he looks pretty good, it kind of sticks with him all game. So we'll see how he looks. I think that's like everyone talks about an X factor heading into the season of being like Bol, which he didn't play at all tonight until it was garbage time. So he didn't get many minutes, but he was an X factor. Ryan Dunn's an X factor, but Bradley Beal's probably an X factor.
You know my opinion on Bol, so I'm more than comfortable with the fact that he didn't play until garbage minutes.
I know, and I was always a big fan last year, but I was saying last pod, I'm like, hey, I don't see it in the preseason, so I'm kind of done with it. I think it's exciting if he comes in garbage time if we have that this season, but we should have some room for him in garbage time, but I'm not counting on him to make a difference. I'm really not, and that's fine. We have other guys to step up.
I think it's pretty clear that Oso has gone past him in the mindset of Coach Bud, and is going to fill that role.
Yeah, I think so too. We can talk about it. That's the wrong one. So, so you said Oso, not Ryan, right?
I did say Oso. Yeah.
Okay, I get them confused. So I do want to talk about
Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oso. Igadoro.
So Oso really, it says the first game or maybe the first couple, he hasn't looked the same. Are there any thoughts on him? Because I think he's going to be a perfect third stringer at the center. He was playing with Nurk tonight at times early in the first half. It didn't look too good. I think there was one time where Nurk and them were kind of battling for a rebound, and Nurk got a little frustrated because it went out of bounds, and then Oso was kind of in the way. So that didn't look too good. It seems like Oso's confidence is kind of deflated. It's not the same. But we can talk about both Oso and Ryan Dunn, man. Like your thoughts on them heading to the season, and if we were too high on both of them or just one of them, or what do you think?
No, I think that both of them over the preseason have given enough signs that they could potentially play a key role within the rotation. Ryan Dunn in particular, I think everyone's seen his ability on the defensive end is really, really he's a high level defender. And what he's been able to do, and I know Okogie missed tonight because he's got some hamstring tightness, but he's been able to deliver in the preseason what Okogie couldn't do last season for us, which is elite defense on the perimeter and inside, but also being able to connect on the threes. And I think that's going to be the real important piece for Dunn. If he can't hit those threes when he gets the opportunity, then we're going to see him start to be challenged by Okogie. But for the moment, I think he's got that piece in the rotation. Also, look, I do agree a couple of times him and Nurk got in each other's way tonight when they were playing together. But it was also the first time that they've played together. So I think there's an opportunity there. I think Oso's more comfortable playing the center role than he is the four. But I think the likelihood is if he wants his minutes to bump, he has to be able to play next to Nurk and Plumlee and probably be the third four rather than the third center, because you don't really play three centers unless you see foul trouble. Let's be honest.
No, you really don't. I think we just have a lot of high hopes. But yeah, speaking of centers, man, let's just go straight into this guy.
Nurk.
Delicious definition make them boys go crazy.
Oh.
And Nurk did do pretty good. Had the box score to show 15 points and 7 rebounds tonight. He did only play 17 minutes, but man, the guy looks slim from up here, up close. He looks more athletic. He looks like he's able to actually close out and shoot with the mid-range. He was doing a good job tonight. I feel like he's handling the paint as much as he could. He's going to take some time to get in better shape, but 17 minutes, he looked pretty solid. I mean, him coming out tonight showed a lot. I know he was held just, unable to play because of his finger injury, and we were all kind of worried about the injuries this preseason. But he looks good, man. I don't think he's really lost a step. If anything, he gained one. Any takes on him?
Yeah, look, it didn't. I was a little bit concerned that the old bully ball Nurk might have dropped away a little bit by shedding some kgs, but I don't think we saw any change to that. He was still able to do it. He's concerned still, and Anthony Davis is a perfect example of the type of center, that type of center that can stretch the floor a little bit, because Nurk feels more comfortable just flopping off and allowing that jump shot or 3-point shot. So against those centers that don't spread the floor, Nurkic, no problem. But as soon as it comes time to extend, it becomes a little bit more difficult for him. But overall, like, he was really, really solid tonight. And I love the fact that he didn't hesitate on the threes either. When the opportunity was there, he pulled the trigger. The more we see of that, the better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this offense is definitely getting very comfortable with each other out there moving the ball, and I think defensively they will get even better. 49 wins last year with the worst net rating in the NBA. I mean, you just imagine how many more wins that tallies with this team staying healthy, and a guy like Nurk playing like he did last year, and then Bradley Beal staying on the floor. It's going to do wonders. I think they have a good unit behind them. I think that there are some Lakers fans that disagree, and they actually might think that they might be a little bit better. So I was in subreddit stakeout. I was in subreddit. And to everybody watching, please like, subscribe. Give Gavin over here a little like and subscribe over there at Aussie Fans Podcast, please.
Aussie Suns fans, yeah. Aussie
Suns fans. And it's funny because as I'm saying that, I know I'm getting it wrong again. I think it's just like screwed in my head ever since, I think it was last year, early in the season. I was fucking it up so bad. So now every time I go to say your podcast name, I'm going to get it wrong. So that's just a joke. And so subreddit before we do subreddit. Okay, well, you know what? It is a little disrespectful, right? So I do apologize. That's just how I do the pod, I guess. Next time I'll have it in my notes, big and bold. Aussies Suns Fans Podcast. There you go. It's a tough one to say.
So you nailed it. You nailed it.
All right, so subreddit. So I do have a costume in mind, disguise in mind, but I didn't wear it tonight. There were a few comments. I'll play the drop. I'll read them, but the disguise, it's not till the second game of the season. So
that's fair.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
We're talking and I cut you off. That's 2 times being disrespectful, man.
Don't worry about it.
So someone did, oh yeah, and if you are watching, we are not having a full podcast tonight. We'll probably go about another 10 minutes tonight. It is a little late Thursday night, so I want to get home and have my mommy tuck me in. So when I was in subreddit, so there's a lot of D'Lo chatter, of course, like always every year. But someone did say that D'Lo cannot be a starting guard for us to be a winning basketball team. Do you agree with that, Gavin?
Who?
D'Lo.
Devin Booker. Oh, D'Lo.
No, D'Lo.
Oh, jeez, I thought you said Devin Booker for a second.
No,
going,
no, not at all.
I don't. They've got a lot of pieces that, if they are starting pieces or even backup pieces, they can't be a winning basketball team. The Lakers have to accept the fact that their 2 best players are their 2 oldest players. They've got some good young kids in there now, but they're pretty much they're a playing team at best. D'Lo, look, I probably agree with it. He's going to have games that D'Lo does where he hits 7-8 threes and he's going to be great. But then he's going to have games like tonight where he has 0 impact and you don't even realize he's playing.
No, I know. I think that's always the story with him, and the story with me too. Even if I did have a disguise, I probably wouldn't be wearing it right now because there are people around that I don't want to get kicked out. So I did get kicked out once. And
I remember you getting kicked out. It was one of my favorite episodes.
It's a highlight of the podcast. All right. So the next thing that was said was Beal is washed. The Suns made a mistake getting him, and Durant looks a few steps slower too at 36. Tonight, just like Beal did look really bad. Really, really bad. It's probably the worst I've ever seen him, but I'm not too worried, even though in the back of my mind I am. JJ Redick pacing back and forth on the sideline like a fucking madman. So I didn't notice it too much, but watching on the broadcast, did you notice like if they were showing him on TNT or were you watching TNT?
Yeah, he was. He did look angry for most of the game, and there was a bit of pacing going on. So the fine folk of the Footprint Center are just going to have to go and check to see whether or not there's an indent there now.
All right. Well, what a prick. Anyways, Austin is not getting traded. Austin, you're him. They definitely are. He had a good game. He was cooking in the first half. Looked incredible. I think the way that JJ has his team running offensively, it looks a lot better. They look a lot more confident with their shots, and the ball was zipping around. I mean, how many times did they find Anthony Davis like just there for a three, wide open? I mean, it's 4 or 5 times, I feel like, in the first quarter. So it's a scarier team than I think most people think. But when LeBron's on the floor, we'll see if the offense still looks the same. Because obviously he's not a ball stopper, but he's going to want the ball a lot more than the way they're moving it around. I think that's really all I had. But I will be better. I will be back with a disguise.
Not that much excitement there.
When we play the Lakers.
I think the big thing for the Lakers is they have Austin Reeves now starting and coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Because Dalton Knecht is basically Austin Reeves.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Are you a ghost?
I'm back.
Are you getting ready for Halloween?
And I think also the Lakers starting lineup's going to look a lot better with LeBron James instead of Cam Reddish. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so too, man.
The Suns Jam Session subreddit stakeout.
All right, let's hand out some hardware 22 minutes in.
Jam star of the game.
All right, so like, subscribe, everybody out there. Thank you for watching so much. 250 of you so far out there watching our beautiful faces talk about the Suns versus the Lakers. For me, man, it's a tough one. I don't know if I even have a jam start tonight, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Nurk just being back, and then also Booker. The first half scoring 20 points, that was pretty amazing. We saw a lot of it out of him. Maybe the starters played too long, I feel like, too. I felt like. But I'm going to give it just a Nurkic coming back. But who you got?
Yeah, well, we only had 2 starters that went into 30 minutes, which was Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. But for me, I put up a tweet during the first half, and he's going to get my jam star because I'm very, very excited. Now, as a Suns fan, we all love Devin Booker. He is our favorite player. So I like to always go with, okay, outside of Book, my new favorite Suns player is Tyus Jones. His ability to set up this offense, he's efficient with his shot. Hit those little cheeky steals. It's like he is what I see from Tyus Jones over this preseason so far, and I hope we see it as the season goes forward from here. But this Tyus Jones reminds me of Kyle Lowry in that Raptors championship team right now.
Yes, perfect.
That's who he is, and I think we're going to see a lot of amazing Tyus Jones type stuff this year that just impacts us. He's going to be the difference between winning or losing in multiple games this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just such a relief to have him and then Monty too. I think I love it, honestly. Can I tell you, like, I love Monty just as much as him. I love it when Monty's on the floor. I absolutely love it. But having those guys,
it's the same player, right? We got the same player starting and then backing him up.
Yeah, it's incredible, and there's a lot to look forward to. And I was trying to see if no one what they gave their takes on Jamstar. Let's see. Seth Logan Hopkins says Jamstar Nurk for showing out. Kip Monte, sorry. Word Oz. TJ is a revelation. Definitely agrees with you there, and a lot to look forward to. Is there anything else you think that you want to get off your chest before the season starts? Any predictions? Anything that you want to tell the Jamsters out there before we go ahead and head out of here?
It looks like it. So I'll just get it out straight up. Once again, the preseason's over. The real stuff starts now. I'm just bloody excited for this season to start. I think there's a different feeling around this team this year. The stuff that we spoke about last year felt more hopeful. This year, it actually feels like it's what's going to be delivered. And
Yes.
every Suns fan that I've spoken to, even the pessimistic ones, are far more optimistic about what we're going to see in the Suns season this year. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. Jamsters, get up and about. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff with Suns Jam, because there's going to be some amazing content this year during the this season. This team is ready to roll.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you guys still go live every Sunday morning? Over to
We go Sunday morning Australian time, which is Saturday night US time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you're about, we generally go on about 10 p.m. AZ time. So if you're about, give us a follow on Twitter. We'll always announce it there. Give us a follow on, subscribe on YouTube. Look, we're a little bit probably less prepared and less structured than some of the other podcasts.
That's what I like, though. I don't like the structure. I hate it.
There's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of misbehaving. There's a lot of hanging shit on stuff. But we just love talking Suns basketball. A lot of hanky panky. But we just love talking Suns basketball and having a bit of fun. So if you would like to hear that on a Saturday night, join us while we talk some shit.
Yeah, usually Saturday night, if you're in the bar, you're drinking, which sometimes I am. I like to pop in and watch. It's a great time. So you have Suns Jam really to take care of everybody after the games, and then a recap Sunday morning Australian time or Saturday night here in the US. I think that's all I got too. I'm very excited for the season to start, and I will probably be back here against the Mavericks home opener, but right after the game against the Clippers. And I just heard Kawhi's out indefinitely.
Yeah, Kawhi's out
Yes.
indefinitely.
And I already picked him not to make the playoffs anyways. So, So sorry, Clippers fans, but Suns fans, I'm very excited. We have a lot coming, and there's a lot to look forward to. Gavin,
And
thank
Matt,
you so much. What's up?
I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back in the US in March. I'm looking forward to catching up with you again, my brother.
Yeah. And this time maybe I'll go out and not have to worry about work the next day on a Saturday
That'd be great.
All right, everybody, go home and love your family.